or chair. Make sure that it's touching the back of the chair. It is scientifically proven that if you're sitting up with nothing over your ears, you'll listen to me. All right, just if you want to see me later, I'll let you know who the scientist is, okay? And finally, I'm looking over the room, and this is a little self-check right here. I want you to look to your left and look to your right, okay? If you're sitting next to somebody and you're going to start talking because you guys know that you're a little immature still and you're sitting next to your buddy and you want to move your seat, let's do it. Raise your hand right now so I can get you moved, because if I'm talking or anybody else is talking on the stage and you're talking, that is very disrespectful, and I'm going to have you removed from the auditorium. And then in the end, I'm going to call your parents. We'll have a nice parent meeting, and we'll figure out your pathway for success. So please, just listen, all right? We're going to be in here for a half hour, give or take. We're going to go over our final 8 weeks of the year, and we have some very, very important things to go over. So real quick, I wanted some interaction out of you. Does everybody, you don't have to say it out loud, and this is a good way that you can learn it from somebody else. In your mind, do you know your right and your left? Okay, if you don't know it, then just pay attention what the other people are going to do. If you're right-handed, raise your hand right now. Raise your right hand. Okay, you've got a lot of righties in here. Put your hand down. If you're left-handed, raise your left hand. Okay, we got some lefties here. This is a very right-handed dominated group right here. And raise your hand, doesn't matter which hand, raise your hand if you live in Fort Myers. Okay, put your hand down. If you live in San Carlos, Estero, or Bonita, raise your hand. Wow, this is a lot of Fort Myers peeps here, okay? So in the end, I don't care if you're right-handed, left-handed from Fort Myers or Bonita, Estero, San Carlos, you're at South Fort Myers High School, you're here right now, and I need you present. So please listen and pay attention. First things coming up, we have all this week dress-up days. We have villains versus superhero. Tomorrow is matching day, so you could either match with your friend, you can match with friends, you can match with lots of people. There's no limit on that. We have Culture Day on Thursday, so you can dress as you feel culturally appropriate. And then Friday, that's why we're all here, you can dress up in the career that you want to represent once you leave us. Okay, so dress up nice. It's nice to dress up. Ladies, wear a nice dress. Gentlemen, wear a tie. If you're going to wear a vocational outfit, whatever it might be. Now, remind you, school appropriate. All right, school appropriate. And then finally, I don't know if this is going to apply to anybody in here, but if you are invited to the prom, okay, if you are invited to the prom by a junior or senior, the prom is this Saturday, okay? So make sure you have everything planned out and make sure that you are there by 7 p.m. at Pelican Preserve, okay? Now, this is the big one right here. If you're going to listen to anything that I'm going to say, I want you to really listen to this right here, because this is going to determine your whole academic career here. Who would like to graduate in 3 years? Who would like to graduate in 3 years? Nice. Who would like to graduate in 3.5 years? Okay. Who would just like to graduate? Raise your hand. Okay, that seems like everybody. Miss Deming, you've done a good job. You preached the message. Would you like to do dual enrollment? If you're interested in dual enrollment, that is where you go to FSW, Florida Southwestern College, or Florida Gulf Coast University, or Fort Myers Technical College, or Cape Coral Technical College, and the school district pay for it. Would you raise your hand if you would like to do that? Where you don't have to pay for it, the school district does. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So why did I ask you those questions? Because you're going to be taking your ELA exam coming up, and I need you to pass that exam. is so, so important. I don't need you to raise your hand, but I just want you to understand. If you are in a reading class right now, and I know you love reading, you don't have to give your opinion, but I know you love reading, but you'd like to do an ACE class, you like to do welding, automotive, nursing, some more electives, and you want to get out of that reading class and do more electives, I need you to pass that exam. You got to pass it. You have to pass it. Now, if you're in ACE Cambridge and some of our honor classes, and you're already getting senioritis as a freshman, I need you to grow up, all right? I need you to come to school. I need you to take it seriously. I have to have you pass that exam. I cannot have you blow it off, and then all of a sudden you come over to Miss Deming, Miss Roback, and said, I just don't understand why I didn't pass the test. And Miss Roback's going to say, well, we love you to death, but here's your reading class. We're going to have to take you out of these other courses that I know you love, and we're going to have to put you into reading. So take it seriously and pass that exam. I know you can do it. And if you're in Algebra 1, same exact thing. You have to pass Algebra 1, and you have to pass that ELA for you to graduate. So please make sure that you do that as soon as possible. I have more things to share, but it's more important that Ms. Deming talks to you right now. So on the count of 3, when I hit 3, I want you to cheer for Ms. Deming. Ms. Deming, can you raise your hand? Okay, so you know who the Ms. Deming is. On the count of 3. Ready? Everybody's hands ready? 1, 2. They're paying attention. That's good. All right, here we go on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Round of applause.
All right. Good morning. So we are freshmen, and I don't know if you can believe it already, but we only have 8 weeks left, and then it's summer. Yeah. It's exciting. So these last weeks are so important because we are getting into testing season. And although it can be a lot, we want to be here every single day. So we don't have to worry about retaking these classes or tests over the summer or into next year, like Mr. Matthews said, so we can have all of the electives and classes that we want. So I have some dates. At the end of this presentation, I'll put this back up if you want to take a picture. So keep your phones away. At the end, we can bring this back up. But here are some of your state testings. So tomorrow, April 3rd, is your fast writing. So make sure you're here on time, you've slept good, you're ready. Then we get into May, you have the rest of your fast ELA. May 14th, whether you're in algebra or geometry, that will be the test on May 14th. And May 21st, bio, I know a lot of you are in bio. I don't think you're in U.S. history yet. That's usually a junior class, so you'll wait until your junior year for that. If you are in any ACE classes, those tests go for about 3 weeks. So make sure you're talking with your teacher so you know when that test is specifically. The first test, I think, starts on April 15th. And then final exams, May 28th through the 31st. You are done before June this year. So it is 2 tests a day throughout that time. If you are not here on one of those days, we do not give exams early for final exams. So if you for some reason are sick or maybe have a summer vacation planned and it's during those days, we will not be allowing for early testing. You need to be here for the test or you have to make it up afterwards. So let's make sure we're here on these days. And like I said, I'll throw this back up at the end so you can take a picture if you'd like. All right, so why we are here, graduation requirements. Like I said, we are almost done with freshman year. You're going to be sophomores. There'll be a new bunch of 9th graders coming in. You won't be the young 9th graders anymore. You'll be the people the 9th graders are looking up to. So it's important that you guys know what you need to graduate. There are about 2,000 kids at the school, and there are 4 counselors and 5 administrators. You have to know what you need to graduate. Your counselors will be coming into your classes. I'll get to that in a minute. And you need to know, make sure you're checking these things off in your brain. So you need at least 24 credits, and that's passing credits. Not you took 24 credits, but you pass 24 credits. 2.0 GPA. What letter corresponds with a 2.0? C. You have to pass that Algebra 1, which will be coming up this year for many of you. Remember, if you don't pass it the first try, we'll have other opportunities, but that means you're going to be in remedial classes. So the better you can do this year, the less you'll need to do in future years. You need to take the geometry, U.S. history, and bio exam, and you need to pass that FSA ELA, and then that 2 years of JRTC Art Hope credit. So those are your main requirements that you're going to need to keep coming back to make sure when you are a senior, when you're in 12th grade, you know that you are good to go and you'll be walking that stage with a standard high school diploma. Okay, so because we're freshmen, and I've had lots and lots and lots of parent meetings, and many times I ask you in those parent meetings, do you know how GPA works? And I would say about 80% of the time it's a no. So we're going to do this as a group, so I need some participation. So who can tell me if you get an A in a course, how many points do you get? 4. Thank you. You get 4 points. That's why the scale is at a 4.0. You get 4 points, all A's throughout your high school, you get a 4.0. So what would a B give you? All right, the magical C gives you. All right, and then as the scale goes, what does a D give you? Is a 1 very helpful for your 2.0 GPA? No. And then if you get an F, what does that give you? Okay. So obviously, we definitely do not want Fs, because not only are you getting 0 points, but you're also not getting a passed credit, so it doesn't count. You literally sat in a class for an entire year, and you get a 0 points and no credit. So you've sat there every day for nothing. So it's so important that you think about that. Your junior and senior year, do you want to be making up all of these credits because you just didn't do them the first time? And if you probably tried, gave it a decent effort, you would have at least passed. So think about that moving forward. To actually calculate that GPA, you're going to add up the points, and you're going to divide by the number of grades you have, and that'll give you your GPA. All right, so a little more time here. This right here is your schedule. Let's pretend. I don't want to be in your way over here. This is your schedule. So I would like you to help me calculate this GPA. So you can use your fingers, you can use your brain. Algebra, a C, how many points? 2. English, you got an F, how many points? All right, so that means we're still at 2 points. All right, at bio, you got a D, how many points? 1, so you add it to your C, so now we're at 3 points. A, JRTC, we got an A, 4 points. So what is your 3 points you had plus 4? All right, we're at 7. Welding, you got a C. Welding, you got a C. How many points? 2. So you have 7 points. Guys, 7 points plus 2. All right, we're at 9 points. Reading, you got a D. 1, so what's 9 plus the 1? All right, we're at 10 points. And finally, PE, we got a B. 10 plus 3. All right, we're at 13 points. Wow, look at you guys. So you're going to take how many classes do you guys have here? 7. So you're going to take that number and divide it by 7. Are we at a 2.0? No. We are not. So it is so important that you look up here and you go, oh, I only failed 1 class. It's not that bad. But we are not at a 2.0. It doesn't matter if you have a 1.98. If you don't have a 2.0, you cannot graduate. All right, so I wanted to make sure we took a little time, and that did take a little time. I wanted to be very clear that you knew your expectation when you become a senior, so you know what you can do to graduate. All right, like I said, registration is coming up April 10th and 11th. Make sure you're here. Your counselors will be going over this with you. You'll get to pick out your courses for next year. Yes, as a sophomore. So these will be the 2 days that you'll be working with registration with your classes and your counselors. All right, let's quiet down a little, guys. All right, I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but we do have summer school. And I'm hopeful that no one will need it in this group because we've passed all our classes. But in case we have not, we will have summer school. More information will go out, but it is in person. There is no more virtual summer school. So this is another thing to remind yourself as you're going through your high school, through sophomore, junior year. If you choose to fail, you will have to make up the credits over summer. So I think the better choice is to pass the first time. We also have graduation boot camp for math and ELA. That's going to be for anyone that wants some extra help with their math and ELA and an extra opportunity to test. But the big one is that credit recovery, because in the end, if you don't pass your core classes, they must be retaken. You have to pass your classes. All right, and we're going to finish strong. Like I said, 8 weeks left. Be present. 7:05 is the time you should be inside your classroom, not inside the building, not walking up from the parent drop-off, not getting out of a car rider car, but inside your classroom. Tardies did start over, but they're going to start coming back to us. All right, so we need to be in the classroom at 7:05. And we need to be in all of our classes. So if I have already talked to you about skipping, we're going to start making sure we have some parent meetings. I'm not just going to be giving out lunch detentions. You need to be where your schedule says you are supposed to be. If you cannot do that, I will make sure Mr. Matthews is aware. We'll set up a parent meeting, and we can look for other opportunities for you. If you don't want to be in class here, we can find another place. Grades. We talked extensively about grades, but the other part that you have to remember is a 2.0 doesn't only get you the ability to graduate, but if you want to play any sport or activity after school, you need a 2.0. All right, so that's also something to remember. And then behavior-wise, book bags and cell phones. Mr. Matthews says it every day on the announcements in the morning. I'm tired of giving the warnings. Your teachers are tired, and Mr. Matthews tired. So your phones should not be out during class time. I want to repeat one more time. Your phones should not be out during class time. Your book bags are going to go where your teacher tells you to put them. And that's it. If your teacher says the book bag station is over here, that is where it is, and you will follow their directives. So I want to say that again, so I'm super clear when I meet with your parent. Cell phones are away, And book bags are where they are supposed to be per that class policy. If you're unaware of it, ask your teacher. Disruptive behavior in class. We're almost sophomores, right? We're not first quarter freshmen running around in the hallway, hitting each other, throwing things at each other. We are now almost sophomores. We need to act like it. So disruptive behavior in the hallway and disruptive behavior in class has come to an end. We know the dress code, so I'm going to keep moving on. If you're out of dress code, we're going to place you in the den. All right, yearbook. If you want a yearbook, I know, it's a lot. Here's the yearbook pricing. Okay, are we done? Are we done? Guys. All right, thank you. So I know that it is a lot, and I let you get that out because that happens in every class meeting. But this is the price. So if you would like one, you can go to buytheyearbook.com, or you can go and see Miss Kennard in 295. It includes the yearbook signing party. So this is completely optional, but I wanted to make sure you guys were fully aware. All right, I'm going to call up, there he is, Coach Woodard. Can we give Coach Woodard a big round of applause? Tell him I'll put it back up at the end of it.
All right. Can you hear me? Good. Show of hands, how many of you currently or this year played a sport? Raise your hand if you played a sport. How many of you plan to play the same sport or a different sport next year? Good. As you all know, in order to do that, you have to have two important things. One, you need to have a GPA above a 2.0. So as Ms. Deming said, check your grades, because if your GPA drops after this semester and is below 2.0, you cannot participate in a sport until next January. So you're out the entire fall. So if you're a volleyball player or a football player and your grade drops, you're done for the season. You can't do anything until, if you're a soccer, basketball player, that's 3/4 of the season. So make sure your GPA, your grades are up above a 2.0 going to next year if you want to play sports. The next thing you got to do, you got to have a physical on file. Those physicals expire 1 year. So 365 days. So if you get one on April 2nd, 2023, it expires today. So what we are doing, we are partnering with Lee Health again, and we are having a physical night on May 22nd here at the school. It is free, so you don't have to pay to get it done. What you have to do is scan this code, and we'll have them up all over the school to reserve a spot. There's different time slots, and it's us and all the schools in the South Zone, so there'll be a lot of people here. So you can't just show up to get it when you have to reserve a spot. So sign up, get it done. It will cover you for the entire next school year. So it's a great way, because I know a lot of kids want to play sports. The hardest part is getting that physical done. We are giving you an opportunity to get the physical done first, knock it out the way. We have nothing to worry about for the entire year about getting that physical done for next year. Also, we really want you guys to come out and play a sport for next year, particularly the girls. We have a lot of sports out here. We want a lot more participation. We need volleyball, cross country, track and field, tennis, golf, basketball, soccer, flag football. These are all the sports that we offer at this school. And wrestling. Thank you, Miss Dr. Mel. So it's plenty of opportunities. You got to come out. Even if you're not good at it, even if you've never done it before, come out. We have coaches here that is their job to teach you how to play the sport and to come out and have fun. So we'll do a big push at the end of the year. Mr. Matthew Niles will do a big push beginning of next school year to get to come back, tell your friends. If you're on a sport, talk to your friends who aren't doing a sport, talk them to come out for next year. All right. I'm good.
Thank you, Coach Woodard. Give him a round of applause. It's very important info. All right, so like I said, this whole reason we're here is to remind you 8 weeks left. We're down to the final push. So please take it seriously. Please be here and ask for help if you need it. I know Mr. Matthews is going to come back up. When he's done, I'll have those dates up there that you can take a picture of once he is done speaking. And you can take a picture if you would like. Thanks, guys.
All right, so we got 5 minutes remaining, 5 minutes remaining. First of all, teachers, I want to compliment your students. I'm not going to say who, and I'm not going to say where, but when I stood up here at the very beginning, I thought to myself, well, I'm going to probably have to go over there. We're probably going to have to walk them out. None of that happened. So give yourselves a nice big round of applause. There you go. There you go. Now, if you're a teacher and you'd like to make your way back to class, go right ahead. I'll dismiss the students, and when they're dismissed from here, they're going to go to fourth period. Shh, shh, shh. Students, come on, you guys have been awesome. I just bragged about you. I just bragged about you. All right, now look up here for me, please. You don't need to stand up. Take a seat, please. Shh, 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 shh. You guys have done so good. Look up here, please. Pay attention. All right, you guys are awesome. So, reminder, 8 weeks left. If you're taking a test, EOC for math, whether it's biology or ELA, you're going to take the test. Pass it, okay? Pass it. If you are a freshman student in a reading class and you desperately want to get out of reading, pass that test, and you get out of it. If you are kicking butt in your other classes and you think you can just say, hey, I don't really care about taking the reading test today, if you don't pass it, we have to put you in reading for next year. So don't let that happen. Every year, I'll have a male or female student who's super, super smart, and just because of maturity, they say, oh, that test is so stupid, I don't need to take that test. And then they don't do well, and then they go see Miss Roback, and Miss Roback's doing their schedule, and then she says, well, congratulations, you're taking reading next year, okay? Nothing wrong with reading if that's a class you want to be in, but if you want to be in an advanced class or any of our awesome electives, you have to pass that test. So please take it serious, do a great job on it. Should not be a big deal. Should not be a big deal, just do what you're doing. Now, the other thing, behavior-wise, you guys have been absolutely outstanding. Absolutely outstanding. Keep it up. Make sure you're to all your classes on time. Make sure you're being helpful to each other. And then finally, Deputy Mikesell, can you sort of put your hand up? See that good-looking guy over there? Yeah, isn't he good-looking, right? And Deputy Antoine, I believe, is in the back there. We can't see him. Shh, shh, shh. If you ever have something personal going on and you're like, you know, I really need to speak to a police officer, just ask your teacher for a pass, and you go right to see them. Deputy Mikesell's all the way on the second floor, all the way at the end of the hallway, and Deputy Antoine is in the front office, right behind the front counter. Or you can see one of us as administrator or guidance counselor, okay? If something's hanging on your heart a little bit and you're like, hey, I need to deal with this, and it's something that's real serious, don't play around with it. Let's take care of it as soon as possible, okay? So in the end, 8 weeks, do your best, enjoy yourself, and set yourself up for success next year. Now, I need you to follow my directions. And you're doing a great job so far. I'm going to dismiss you, but I'm only going to dismiss you by areas, okay? So over here, don't do anything. Right here, this side, go right outside that door right for me, please. Grab your items. Whoa, whoa, nobody else should be getting up. Don't ruin it. Don't ruin it. Make sure you have your backpacks, your cell phones. And hey, this is the important one right here. If you have any $100 bills, don't forget them. Don't forget your $100 bills, okay? This side right here, go out the back door for me, please. In the middle, don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. I got a special surprise for you. As a reminder, you're going to fourth period. Left side of the room, let's go. You're blocking traffic. Let's go. Let's go. All right, everybody in the center, look right here. You're awesome. You can go any way you want to. Just don't go out the front door. Have a great day, everybody.